driving. Who comes and stops us in our tracks? Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Sober Sundays with my stuttering sober Sundays. It's easy to talk like that when you grew up with a speech impediment. I had a speech impediment. I used to say my S's through my nose, like that. Otherwise, I would talk fine until I came to S's, and I fed them through my nose. So, yeah. Good morning, leisure. Hot leisure. I'm making fun of it, even though it was actually a pretty hard time in my life, but I tell you what, I've had to learn how to re-talk 3 times in my life. And it's why my voice is just, it's been my biggest, I don't know, there's something about my voice, but see, I've had to do so much practicing that I've always stemmed. So I do all these different voices and stuff. It's just, yeah. There's a few that I'm going to start working on. Yeah. All right. Happy Sunday. Yeah, I'm seen cows down by the seashore. You thought I couldn't do it. Ha ha. It's easy for me to go back to it. Yeah, and the doctor, my mom took me to the doctor. He said, well, he's retarded. They put me in a different class, and it got worse. That's what I would do. And don't get upset with me, okay? I'm just telling you what I was diagnosed with. That's it. I don't use that word, all right? I don't use it as name calling. I use it for its appropriate meaning, okay? Like my sleeping bag has a certain level of retardation in it, and it has nothing to do with the brains. It has to do with how quickly you're going to be set on fire. Okay. Or the rain or the elements. All right. Anyway, it means to lessen something. All right. You were in the class at the end of the hall. Is that where it was? Let's just say I was special. All right. And that didn't change much. Well, I also wasn't getting good grades, so it made sense. I didn't put much effort into school. Ever. No. Dion has always been, he does whatever the fuck he wants to. I've always been that way. I'm still that way. It's just what I want seems to be a little different than what it used to be, where I used to want to run around and hurt people. I've given that position up. Right. And I've become a person that wants to help God's children instead of hurt them now. And so, right. So I thought I was being a man. Nope. No, real men have the courage to say, I'm fucked up and I need to do something about it. That's what real men do. Actually, even then, that's not even true. I've met real men who did not quote unquote make it, even though they made it. Okay. Anyway, all right. Let's just say I don't determine somebody based on their addiction. I'll just put it that way. I don't. I have one. It's pretty apparent. Ruined my life. Right. So, Leisure says, I'm glad you're here this morning, bro. Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm glad you're here too. It's the Scott and Dion show. And it's funny because my brother's name is Scott. And it used to just annoy the crap out of him when I talked like that. I know it did. But I was his little brother. My job was to annoy him. And boy, did he get a lot of practice. All right. At least until I got to about 12 when I no longer thought my older brother was cool. So I thought other things were cool. All right. It's just life. August 2nd. We're in August now. It's going by fast. The older you get, the quicker it goes. The older I get, the grayer I seem to get. My whole beard here is now gray. So, yeah. All right. We become willing. At the moment, we are trying to put our lives in order, but this is not the end of, not an end in itself. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 77. Now, there really is no ending. There's progressing. Right? Now, don't get caught up. I recently found out I was making a mistake. I was just thinking of this guy right here, and now he's calling me. Hold on, I just gotta send a message. Write my own. I'm live. Call you right back. I was wondering because I haven't heard from him in 2 weeks. He was supposed to tell me something, and I was getting worried is what I was getting. Hi, Larissa. Good to see you. I think I might have another. I've got to, but so I started to get caught up in the maintenance of it all. That I just had to maintain everything. I'd be okay. But that's pretty serious business all the time. And I wasn't allowing myself to have fun, to be excited about things, to be happy about things, because everything needed to be maintained. And I'm kind of stepping out of that maintenance area 24 hours a day and understanding that life is still going to happen whether I'm in survival mode or not. Right. Leisure says, I'm still waiting for my AA certificate of completion to arrive in the mail. Yeah, I'll be sending that out the day after you die. That's when that goes out. Your certificate of completion in AA will arrive the day after you have passed because you have completed it. There you go. That's the completion. And you know what we used to call that? We used to call that step 13. All right. We had to edit. Step 13 meant you died drunk. Or I mean that you died sober. All right. That's what that meant. And somehow it got turned into some sexual things. Great job. Not surprising. We're a bunch of alcoholics. And when we don't find God, we go after sex or money. I mean, there was even a place here called Step 13 who they do great work. And they had to change their name because alcoholics decided to make it gross. Fuckers. What's wrong with you people? Taking away something good to make it sexual. God, what an alcoholic thing to do. Okay. And that happened because of what's called the Abilene effect, where a group of people get together and they make a bad decision based upon popularity and not the truth. It happens in recovery daily. I watch it. I watched it in the OIAA safety meeting yesterday, and they were showing these videos explaining AI. And one of these things was what's his name? I'll remember his name here in a minute because everybody knows who the fuck he is. He's like, the life will be entirely different and run by AI, and just scaring people in the meeting. And, you know, they're like, we should do these settings and we should do those settings and we should, Elon Musk, that's who it was. Okay, we should do it, and of course I raised my hand and I said in our meeting we have one primary purpose. It is to stay sober and help the newcomer. And all of these are just tools to help the newcomer. That's all that they are. If they can help the newcomer, then we utilize them. But if it's going to be a barrier to recovery, then we get rid of them. That's it. It is simple as that. So I went into my settings in our Zoom room and I turned it all off. There is no AI in our Zoom meeting. And then I put it in, and then I rewrote the format. And the format says that if you have a Zoom account that is pro or business and you utilize AI to record the meeting, you will be removed and I will remove you. Okay? Because it does not belong there. If you want to take notes on your own, you go for it. But you take what you need and leave the rest. You are not recording everybody so that you can go do something with it. I don't care if it's staying at your house. That blows anonymity, period. Forward. End of sentence. Exclamation point. All right. So don't get caught up in the maintenance. That was what I was getting to, even though I went off a little. All right. How easily I could become misdirected in approaching the 8th step. Yeah, well, considering the big book talks about it for what, like a paragraph? 6, 7, and 8 are like really short. All right, that's okay. I wish to be free, somehow transformed by my 6th and 7th step work. There's no work in the 6th and 7th step. Those are non-action steps. 4, 5, 9, 10, 12. Those are the action steps. 6 and 7 aren't action steps. No, you're coming to an agreement again. They're preparation steps. It's the CBT portion. Agreeing, admitting, accepting, becoming willing, those types of things. Learning the skills that you need so that you can do the next step. Okay. 8 is just writing a darn list. So I guess it is kind of an action step. Okay. But even then, you're not really writing your list. It was your grudge list. So you're adding a few people on. Is it really effort in the 8th step? No, it's an agreement that we are going to try and love everybody appropriately, that we're going to love them for who they are and not making a decision on what we think that they should be. That's what it's about. It's about willingness. Okay. Now more than ever, I am vulnerable to my own self-interest and hidden agenda. You didn't do 4 and 5 that if you are still vulnerable to your self-interest and hidden, if you're vulnerable, you better be aware of your self-interest and your hidden agenda. What hidden agenda? Huh. Okay. Am I just being defiant today? I might be. I'll ease up a little bit. Yeah, I'll ease up. I'll find landing places instead of rebelling, because I am rebelling a little bit here. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Good morning. I'm careful to remember that self-satisfaction, which sometimes comes through the spoken forgiveness of those I have harmed, is not my true objective. True. I become willing to make amends, knowing that through this process, I am mended and made fit to move forward to know and desire God's will for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. How about I say absolutely to that one? I'm just trying to agree. But it is true. It's true for me too. All right. Alcoholism, the progressive disease. Don't. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host. I did that all in one breath. Okay. Yeah, the progressive disease. Do you know other addictions aren't like alcoholism? This is one of them. This is one of them. See, if you do heroin for 2-3 years and then you quit, your tolerance goes down. Right? Your tolerance goes down. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm going to use that like 50 times now. I may even find inappropriate places to put it. Yeah, meow. Oh God, these cats are just driving me a little crazy today. Just a little bit, but it's a progressive disease. If you drink for 5 years and you are at 2 pints a day and you quit for 10 years, your tolerance for alcohol has not gone down. It never goes down. Actually, there is one point when it could go down. My tolerance for alcohol did go down when I needed a liver transplant. Okay. So when your liver and kidneys start going, it will take less for you to get drunk because your body's not processing the alcohol. Okay. But you better be ready for a pretty long detox. The last time I drank, I had a 6 pack. It's all it took. Very dangerous. It took me 2 weeks to detox. 2 weeks, I felt like shit. Progressive disease. Okay. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and physically. This is a progressive disease. All right. Now we're going to read a story. We'll read a story here. You probably know the story. You may know the story. It starts out a man of 30. Should be using the other book. That's okay. A man of 30. I like this book because the pages stay open. So this is my sponsorship big book. So it's about time to start taping it up. I need this book though. A man of 30 was doing a great deal of spree drinking. He was very nervous in the morning after these bouts and quieted himself with more liquor. All right. Morning, Amber. Good to see you. So he's needing more alcohol. Now it's pretty bad if you wake up in the morning and you're shaking. You're kind of at a point of no return. Might be. Now at this point, this person has what we call a drinking problem. Okay, they have not reached the threshold. But listen to some of this. He was ambitious to succeed, but he saw he could get nowhere if he drank at all. See, he saw it, he recognized it, and he had a valid reason to quit drinking. It's right here. Once he started, he had no control whatever. He'd already recognized this at 30. Pretty smart guy. Actually, not as smart as you think he is, because the smarter you are, the harder this program is, actually. So it's not, but smart. Most alcoholics are pretty smart, right? Or at least we think we are. Smart asses, right? Absolutely smart asses. Absolutely. There's two right there. Once he started, he made up his mind that until he had been successful in business, he had retired, he would not touch another drop. What is that? That is a lurking notion, right? And we cannot have any lurking notion. But he also set a goal that he met. That's a pretty impressive, man. That is impressive. But well, let's read on. Okay. He would not. So once he had been successful in business and retired, he would not touch another drop. An exceptional man. I would probably say this is an exceptional man that could do something like that. He remained bone dry for 25 years and retired at the age of 55 after a successful and happy business career. Was it really a happy? I don't know. I don't think we're getting the full story here. I doubt that he was as nicey nice as people were saying, because he wasn't getting what he wanted, which was to drink. He was going for something, right? Anyway, that's just opinion. We're gonna go with what it says here, that those 25. But when I see bone dry, have you ever met somebody who is not drinking but not doing anything about it except just not drinking? Right? They got sober, but they didn't get into recovery. They didn't do anything else about the rest of it. These people are usually pretty freaking angry, at least in my experience. Right? I needed something else to help me with that. Right? So 25 years, he had 25 years, but then he fell victim to the belief which practically every alcoholic has. I went through this also. I had 10 years of sobriety. Now, I didn't think it was the time that qualified me. What it was who's not an alcoholic at 17, 18 years old? Because all my friends drank the way that I drank. They did. Well, I think I drank a little bit more. That's because I could handle more because I've been drinking longer than them. That was the only reason. See, they started drinking at like 15, 16. I started drinking at 12. So I had already built a tolerance up by this point, right? You got to think of these things. But, for me, but I'd forgotten that I, lived on Skid Row, that alcohol took me to places that it didn't do to them and never did do to them. They all went to college. But now here they are later in life and they can't seem to get off the hooch. They can't seem to hold relationships. The guy that was my best friend for years, he has more ex-wives than me. I've got 2. It's not like it's huge. Unlike, the man that raised me, my father. I mean, they all a bunch of sluts is what they were. Slutty sluts. Absolutely, they were sluts. There's 3. I forgot to put them in. All right. Then he fell victim that his long period of sobriety and self-discipline, had qualified him to drink as other men. Why not? He just went 25 years on his own with his own self-discipline. I actually kind of agree with him. But that's because I have an alcoholic brain. Shut up. Yes, shut up, dude. I don't know why you're whining. You got everything you need. Come here. Come here. I think this one actually speaks English. Come here. Come here. Yeah. This is my street TV. He lived on the street for a year before he jumped in Mom's car, and now we have him, and now he's the biggest cat we have. When we got him, he was skin and bones. But he's a good kid. Yes, he is. See, he says he wants attention. I give it to him, and then he leaves. Okay, let's get back to this. I qualified him to drink as other men. Out came the carpet slippers and a bottle. In 2 months, he was in a hospital, puzzled and humiliated. 2 months. It only took 2 months for him to be right back where he was. Stop it. I just have to put a foot towards him. It gets, I like the cat, but 2 months it took. That's not very long. Now what happened? His disease had progressed. He got angrier. The resentments kept building. He was hurting other people. See, what they don't tell us is, was he married? Did he have children? How did he actually act? See, we don't have any of that information, so we can only assume here, right? So what are we trying to get from this? Well, they're trying to say that alcoholism is a progressive disease. He may not have been drinking, but that doesn't matter because alcohol is the solution, not the problem. He didn't solve the problem. He was the problem. He got halfway there, though. He got halfway there. This is what I call a poltergeist situation where you move the gravestones, but you don't move the bodies. Okay? Go watch the movie. It's absolutely great. There's 4. I keep forgetting I was doing that. All right. He tried to regulate his drinking for a while. Tried to regulate it, not stop, right? Yet. Making several trips to the hospital meantime, I guess, and he's trying to stop it. If he's going to the hospital, he's trying to stop. Then, gathering all his forces, he attempted to stop altogether and found he could not. See, there's another part here that other people may not understand. See, the first time he got sober, he had a drinking problem, but by this time he was an alcoholic because alcoholism is a progressive disease that doesn't require alcohol for it to go forward. Doesn't need it. Right? So he thought he'd be able to quit anytime he wanted to because he already did it once. That's where my fallacy came in too. See, when I quit drinking when I was 18 years old, there was no hangover. There was no DTs. There was no shaking. There was no sweats. There was nothing. I had no physical repercussions going on. Now, when I tried to quit at 45 or 42, I don't even fucking remember now, I couldn't do it. My body was addicted to alcohol. My disease had progressed. The physical portion of the addiction had progressed. And if I didn't wake up in the morning and put alcohol in my system, it would fucking kill me. And I knew this. And I lived that way for years. My kids, my wife had to sit there and watch me do this. Okay. All right. That's progression. You don't need alcohol for your alcoholism to progress. You just need not do anything about it. Because alcoholism is a mental illness, not a physical condition. A mental illness, not a physical condition. Okay? See? He thought alcohol was the problem. Nope, he was the problem. All right. Every means of solving his problems which money could buy was at his disposal. Every attempt failed. Though a robust man at retirement, he went to peace quickly and was dead within 4 years. He tried to get off, but the alcohol still killed him. Man. So we need to take a lesson from this guy. And we should thank this guy for allowing for his story being in here to teach us something. This man died so we could learn something, and I think we should respect that a little. Okay. All right. This case contains a powerful lesson. Most of us believe that if we remain sober for a long stretch, we could therefore thereafter drink normally. But what really is a long stretch? Does time really matter? Does it matter that fucking much? It seems to. Everybody running around fucking day counting, Oh, I slipped and the world is over. So I don't have. Day one is a great place. It's a great place. Day two's good. Day 17, day 743, it's all good. Yeah. Hey, for me, I try and remove any barriers. And if time's one of those, then fine. I have today. How much time do you have? Well, then I'll just be a smart ass about it. My cat got me up kind of. I have 2 hours of sobriety. There you go. You probably have more than me. Good job. I'll make it so that you have more time than me. There. Now you have more time than me. Yay. Because it doesn't matter. Okay? Old timers will tell you time does not matter. Believe them. So, do we have these things, but how long is a long time? When somebody tells me I'm going to be over in a little bit, it drives me crazy because I don't know what a little bit is. It absolutely drives me crazy because a little bit to you might be 4.5 hours. To me, it's 20 minutes. Right. So anyway, sorry, just a little rabbit hole I decided to go down after, all right. But here was a man who at 55 years found that he was just where he had left off at 30. We've seen the truth demonstrated again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Commencing to drink after a period of sobriety, we are in short time as bad as ever. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. There's that lurking notion I was talking about. It's not by coincidence. It was followed that the story preceded it because this man had a lurking notion. This is alcoholic thinking. We don't think like everybody else does out there. Okay? I usually have the cart before the horse, and I usually can't get through things unless I start to speak them out loud, because otherwise sometimes I don't recognize them in my head, But when I start saying it out loud, I see it and then I do something about it. So it's important that we talk with others and let other people know what's going on with us. Or if you see somebody slowly retreating, please say something. I noticed that somebody in our home group, they were slowly receding. I'm like, we need to talk. We need to sit down. They need to know that I'm still their friend, that I am still there. I'm still their boy. Right? Right. Young people may encouraged by this man's experience think they could stop as he did on their own willpower. Good luck. Some might. I mean, Amber, didn't you do it for like 3 years? Man, good on you. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that. But she's also a Virgo and we're hard headed. Right. But when I was younger and I was 18, right? Right. We doubt if many of them can do it because none of them will really want to stop. And hardly one of them, because of the peculiar mental twist already acquired. Now, that peculiar mental twist, for me, I was born with it. I've always thought this way. As long as I can remember, before alcohol came into my life, I always thought this way. So I think, and that's what, it is a thought. Science will prove it one day, probably soon. All right. So I'd already had that peculiar mental twist, which is the alcoholic thinking that I talk about a lot. We'll find he can win out. Several of our crowd, men are 30 or less, have been drinking only a few years, but found themselves as helpless as those who have been drinking 20 years. Yeah. We have a lot of people in our meeting that have a lot of time that got sober young. One got sober when they were 16. Okay. They're a little bit older. They got sober in 1969. I wasn't even alive yet. Okay. That's 56 years of sobriety. That's a lot. And that person will tell you, yeah, sure it is, but it's a day at a time. I did that a day at a time. Right. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time nor take the quantities some of us have. This is particularly true of women. Yep. Alcohol takes women a lot faster. Physically. Physically. The other stuff, it's kind of the same. I don't know why. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why. Potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. Certain drinkers who will be greatly insulted if called alcoholics are astonished at their inability to stop. We who are familiar with the symptoms see large numbers of potential alcoholics among young people everywhere, but try and get them to see it. Okay. That's changed though. We even have AA has something called Young People in AA. Right? So as we look back, we feel we could go, blah, blah, blah. He's a blah, blah. As we look back, we feel we could have gone on drinking many years beyond the point where we could quit on our own willpower. If anyone questions whether he has entered this dangerous area, let him try leaving liquor alone for 1 year. A year on my own willpower, 20 minutes. I think is about it. I mean, I have zero willpower for alcohol. Zero. I think some other people have a little bit more willpower, but I did not. Yeah. So 1 year all by myself, not doing it with anybody. I don't know that I could do it. At this point, I wouldn't want to. Mm-mm. Even, I can tell you right now, I'm going to tell you something right now. Let's say you woke up tomorrow and AA shut down. Grassroots would still be there. I would not stop. No, because I do what I want to do. And you can't stop me from holding a meeting and helping people out. You can't. So even if AA shut down, you can't shut it down. There's too many. All right. In early days of our drinking, we occasionally remained sober for a year or more, becoming serious drinkers again later. Though you may be able to stop for a considerable period, you may yet be a potential alcoholic. We think few to whom this book will appeal can stay dry anything like years. Some will be drunk the day after making their resolutions, most of them within a few weeks, right? So, we make these resolutions and promise all sorts of things, right? No, because the main thing is this: it's not how often you drink, it's what happens once you start drinking, you stop. I'm glad that you could stop drinking for 9 months. Good for you. But that doesn't mean that you're not an alcoholic. Why did you get sober for 9 months? What was going on? Well, once I started drinking, I just couldn't help myself anymore. That's the key. That's the key right there. It's not how often you drink. No. That's alcoholic thinking. Actually, that's not alcoholic thinking. Everybody tends to think that. Well, they don't drink every day. Doesn't mean you're not an alcoholic. I haven't drank in over 10 years. I'm still an alcoholic. It hasn't changed. Right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see some of you in about 2.5 hours. I love you. You know I do. Absolutely, I do. Peace out. And absolutely keep on trudging.